YouTube, what's good? Justivine here with another tutorial. I hope all is well on this beautiful Saturday morning, considering the circumstances, us being locked down on quarantine, and I hope that everyone are taking advantage of this time and this opportunity, and focusing on building and establishing your brand. Unfortunately, I'm an essential employee, and I haven't had that leisure, but that doesn't mean that I didn't, take advantage of what time I did have. So at this point, it's pretty much no excuses, but I'm not going to go into that. I just want to talk about a few things. I wanted to do a tutorial on the new Logic Pro X 10.5 update, but unfortunately, my laptop is from 2011, even though I have 16 gig RAM, all of the bells and whistles for my laptop at that time. The software isn't supported by that version or that year, make model of my laptop. So I will not be buying another laptop anytime soon because it's unnecessary. Although I would love to tap into that because a lot of the features that are included are the things that FL Studio users have been privy to for a very, very, very long time. But today, I wanted to do this video for all of the subscribers. I meant to do this about 2 weeks ago when I hit 2,000 subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate every person that took the opportunity to subscribe. I don't take it lightly. You could have just bypassed, but as a community for Logic Pro X users, I wanted to give back. So in this video, I'm going to show my process and what I do when I'm creating my own samples. I also have a loop pack that I will include in this description. It will contain 10 samples that I created maybe about a year or so ago, but nonetheless, I'm not going to go into that right now. When I get to that point of the video, I'll talk about it. So I'm gonna show you what I do when I get into my process of creating samples. Now, first thing you want to think about sound selection. Typically, I like layering synthesized sounds with a piano, and I started with this piano melody. And the one thing I did do was I didn't want all of my notes to be on the grid. I kind of wanted to I wanted the notes to be strummed, and this is what that sounded like. Ooh, like the sound of that. It's like a little dark, it's a little tonal. The second sound, I wanted it to be more, on the grid, kind of like a stab, like boom. But I wanted it, something soft and, and also tonal to complement that piano sound. So as you see, really, the velocities on these notes are pretty much the same. Everything is pretty snapped on the grid, a little robotic. So, and that's what listen to it. All right, last but not least is the final sound. I want to say I think I snapped this on the grid too. Yeah, so this is another sound that's kind of on the grid. This is one of those, I wanted like an airy sound, something that would register more on the high end, because if you notice that the first two sounds that were played, they were, within the mid to low mid frequency range. So I needed something that was going to punch through throughout all of the the bands of frequencies. And again, I wanted that to snap on the grid. So if you look, it's a combination of both patterns. You see this is the pattern from the first one with the chord progressions, and then you got the arpeggiated notes that are playing on the top end. Another thing to consider, if you look at, you see I'm also separating, I'm spreading it across the keyboard. That way you kind of fill up that frequency range and you give a full sound. So also keep that in mind. You don't want to keep layering and layering and layering. You want to separate the frequencies and give the space, give the sounds and their own space to where as though they can exist. And this is what that sounds like. Now, of course, these sounds did not by themselves sound the way they, their initial sound didn't sound the way it sounds right now. What I did was I took all of those sounds and I sent it through a bus. Now, if you don't know what a bus and a send is, a bus, you're just taking this entire signal and then you sending it to one track. A bus is kind of like, a send, this sound would exist by itself, but it will send a portion of that signal over to this bus. So that's the difference. So here I have a chain that I use to kind of treat my sounds. I'll include also in this description the link to this. The only thing that I know typically a lot of users have waves plugins. The only exception may be this Brainworks digital V2 V1 it's V2 EQ, and all this is I'm taking a little mono out, but you can probably do without that. And the other thing is that thing. It's another plugin that I use. It has it has a chorus on it, and it has a host of other sounds that I use as a texture. Some of them play as the notes are triggered. Some of them, play whether, continuous, whether you're using it or not. You just have to experiment with it. So I would admonish you guys to look into that. But as a collective, this is what all three of those sounds sound like after being bussed. All right, so there you have it. Quick, simple tutorial on how to create your own unique samples. And what I'll do is you could take this sample, bounce it as a waveform. You can go chop it. You can do all kinds of stuff. Stretch it, reverse it, pitch it up, pitch it down. Speed it up, slow it down, and turn it into something completely different and unique. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. I hope that I was able to impart something useful. If you're not subscribed, I would like for you guys to subscribe. If you learned anything, it costs you absolutely nothing. I just ask that you hit that like button. It helps the channel out tremendously. If you know another user who would benefit from this information, please share this video, tag them in it. Do what you can. I'm gonna wrap this video up. So Just Divine, Logic Gang, yeah, that's we. If it sounds good, it is good. Peace.